To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squetta and thanks for joining us today. Now the news making the headlines: IGP withdraws senior police officers attached to the EFCC. Egypt releases 1,686 prisoners as Ramadan kicks off. Thousands across Russia defy ban of protest. WTO moves against harmful support for fishing. And on sports, Benzema scores twice as Real Madrid trash Cadiz. Stay with us as the detail of that news come after this short break. Welcome back. Now the news in full. IGP withdraws senior police officers attached to the EFCC. The acting Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered the withdrawal of senior police officers from the rank of Chief Superintendents of Police and above attached to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. He hinged the decision on the operational requirements of the force, and in a letter dated April 15, 2021, addressed to the EFCC chairman and signed by the principal staff officer to the IG Idowu Omohunwa, the police boss directed that the affected officers should report not later than today. And the letter extends earnest regards to the Inspector General of Police and to inform the chairman that the Inspector General of Police has directed the withdrawal of all senior police officers for the rank of Chief Superintendent of Police and above attached to the EFCC. And the decision is informed by the current operational requirements of the force. It also directs the immediate release of the concerned officers who had to collectively report to the undersigned for further instructions. And now moving forward, Gbajaba Miller fought Elumelu as a minority leader demands Pantami's resignation. The minority leader of the House of Representatives, Ndudi Elumelu, urged the House to demand the resignation or sacking of the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, over his records of once backing activities of jihadist leader and deadly Islamic sects. And controversy has been surrounding Pantami, who once preached the violent cause of extremist Islamic sect and jihadist narratives of Al-Qaeda and Taliban before he became a minister in the cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari. At a plenary on Wednesday, Elumelu raised a point in order to demand that the House should act on the issue, and he particularly demanded the minister's resignation or sacking. Gbajaba Miller therefore called on another member to present a motion, and the Speaker, Femi Gbajaba Miller, however, overruled the minority leader, noting that Elumelu came under the matter and the matter being raised had nothing to do with his privilege as a lawmaker. And now moving forward in another development, reps condemn acceptance fee that varsities and order impose on admission seekers. The House of Representatives has condemned the high acceptance fees being imposed by Nigerian universities, polytechnics and other tertiary institutions on admission seekers. And consequently, the House resolved to investigate the issue. And the chairman of the House Committee on Basic Education, Professor Julius ENQUIRY, at the plenary moved a motion to demand the rationale behind the fees being collected by tertiary institutions. And moving the motion, ENQUIRY said the House notes that the arbitrary high acceptance fee charged by some public universities on new students across the country has become a matter of great concern to many families. And the House also mandated the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Services to investigate the high acceptance fee charged by tertiary institutions in Nigeria and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. And another news from around Africa, Egypt releases 1,686 prisoners as Ramadan kicks off. Egypt released 1,686 prisoners a day after the holy month of Ramadan kicked off, the Egyptian Interior Minister said in a statement. And the ministry said the move was arrived at an implementation of a modern concept of penal policy, provided inmates with all means of welfare and apply the procedure set for releasing rehabilitated convicts. And Egypt, which had previously pardoned inmates in May occasion, released prisoners through a presidential pardon that are customary to both national and religious occasions. And last year, June, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi also issued a presidential pardon for 3,157 prisoners for the arrival of the Eid al-Fitr festival of breaking the fast. And earlier in May the same year, a number of prisoners were released as per another presidential decree on the occasion of Sinai Liberation Day on April 25th, as the series of presidential pardons have been issued during the past years. And still from around Africa, now to Zimbabwe, where Zimbabwe MPs approve bill allowing the president to appoint VP directly. And Zimbabwe's parliament has approved a bill seeking to remove a clause in the constitution on electing vice presidents, a move that has received overwhelming backlash, especially from the opposition party. And the opposition said the bill is intended by President Emerson Mnangagwa to keep a grip on the presidency. And the new raft of changes passed by the Senate a week ago will see the president appoint the deputy presidents directly in the event of presidents dying or incapacitated, as the ruling party takes time to choose a successor. And Mnangagwa supported the new bill and said that having elected vice presidents will ensure a smooth succession and avoid political instability. And the new charges also mean that the president can prolong the mandate of senior judges and even appoint judges by himself instead of them undergoing the normal public scrutiny. And judges will now retire at 75 years instead of the previous 70 years. And also, judges seeking to be appointed to the bench for the first time will undergo public scrutiny. And Nelson Chamisa, the leader of the main opposition, the MDC Alliance Party, described the move by the legislative as a betrayal. We're going to short break right now, and when we come back, we get more updates from Russia. Stay with us.
Apostle Johnson Suleiman stamps Ibadan.
Do you live in Ogun State? Do you live in Ondo State? Do you live in Osun? Do you live in Lagos? Be my guest as I come to Oyo State, Ibadan.
Make a move that will propel your generation.
You've carried so much load, but God says He has come to help you. Who is Victor? Your first son. Miracle jobs will begin to locate your children.
There's going to be a mighty move of the Holy Spirit. I'm coming with my wife.
Who is this woman walking?
There is a miracle here.
Tell me.
For 18 years, this woman could not walk except with the aid.
She could not walk without the crutches.
Could not walk without a crutch.
Come, let her walk now.
Yes.
Walk now. Walk now. So many miracles happening here. Look at another crutches again inside the crowd.
It's a time of refreshing and revamping.
Join me for Impact 2021, Ibadan, Oyo State.
Generational Impact Ibadan 2021. Date 27th and 28th April 2021 by 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily GMT+1. Venue Indo Sport Hall, Liberty Stadium, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. For inquiries, please call. Your time has come.
Welcome back. Now, more updates from Russia. Thousands across Russia defy ban on protest. Thousands of people across Russia have joined unauthorized rallies to protest against the detention of jailed opposition leader Alexei Navalny. And they are calling for Navalny, who has been on hunger strike for weeks, to receive proper medical care. And more than 1,000 people were reportedly arrested. Navalny was jailed in February and is demanding medical attention for acute back pain and leg numbness. The largest protest was in Moscow, but others took place in major cities, and the opposition had hoped on Wednesday's protest would be the largest in the years, but reports suggest that they have been smaller than those that took place shortly before Navalny was jailed. And more than 14,000 people protested in 29 cities, police said, and they included 6,000 people who gained in Moscow. And now more updates from India. India sets global record for new cases amid oxygen shortage. India has reported 314,835 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours, the highest one-day tally recorded anywhere in the world. Deaths rose by 2,104 in the same period, and that's the world's daily toll, and it brings the country's total confirmed cases close to 16 million. That's a second only to the US 31.9 million. India is in its grip of a vicious second wave, and acute oxygen shortage is raising more fears about its overwhelmed healthcare system. And it has led Delhi's highest court to publicly criticize the central government for its handling of the oxygen crisis in the city. It ordered the government to ensure safe passage of oxygen supplies from factories to hospitals across India. A number of people across the country have died, while waiting for oxygen, although it is not possible to know how many. And Indian social media have also been filled with appeals for oxygen. Crowds are gathering outside hospitals in major cities which are filled to capacity as health services are also struggling to cope. What a sad one there from India. And moving forward to business news, World Trade Organization moves against harmful support for fishing. Director General, World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and the Fishery Subsidies Negotiations Chair, Ambassador Santiago Wills of Colombia, urged the WTO members to prepare to make tough calls and pave the way for a ministerial meeting in July in a bid to deliver an agreement that will curb harmful state support for fishing. During an informal, open-ended meeting at the heads of the delegations level, Okonjo-Iweala recalled the preamble to the WTO agreement and the mandate of these negotiations. And she said people, jobs, sustainability, livelihoods, and these are the words that jump out of her from the preamble every time. And she also said that this job is to protect the fish and to protect the many millions of fishermen and women who directly depend on fish. Still from business news, the Senate approves 257 billion naira customs budget and alleges poor oversight. The Senate has accused its Committee on Customs, Excise and Tariffs of not carrying out a proper oversight on the Nigerian Customs Service. The Red Chamber said the poor oversight accounted for the poor revenue generated by the NCS in the 2020 fiscal year. And the Senate gave the condemnation at plenary when it considered the report of its panel on customs, excise and tariffs on the 2021 budget presented by the chairman, Senator Francis Alimikena. And despite the sweeping considerations of his panel, the Senate nevertheless approved the sum of 257.18 billion naira as budget for Nigeria's customs services for the 2021 fiscal year. Alimikena has in its presentation said out of the amounts budgeted for the NCS in the 2021 financial year, the sum of 99.72 billion naira was earmarked for personnel cost. He also said 19.53 billion naira was voted for the overhead and 137.93 billion naira for capital cost. The senator said the committee increased the NCS revenue target from 1.47 billion naira to 1.68 billion naira. And the Senate President Ahmed Lawan expressed his disappointment at the committee's performance in terms of oversight. We're going on another short break before we get sport news. Don't go anywhere. We're still live on Celebration TV News Desk.
Completely blind for 2 years. He was blind. He can see.
Yabika.
Papa, look at. He was blind. God has done it. He was blind. He was blind. He can see. Shout Jesus!
An outpour of the Spirit as tears of revival. The wonder-working power made visible.
Who's Henry?
My younger brother.
Who's Imba?
Now our last born.
What's Mopo 20? Mopo 20?
Yes, that's what.
Barracks?
Yes, sir.
That's where you stay?
Yes, sir.
Be restored.
Power. Hey!
Impact 2021 FCT Abuja with Apostle Johnson Suleiman. Date 6th and 7th May 2021. Time, Thursday 6th May by 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Friday 7th May by 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. all night long, GMT +1. Venue, Old Parade Ground, Area 10, Abuja, Nigeria. For inquiries, please call. God is waiting for you.
Welcome back. Now on sports news, Benzema scores twice as Real Madrid trash Cadiz. Real Madrid enjoyed temporary respite from their European Super League humiliation by trashing Cadiz 3-0 to keep the pressure on Atletico Madrid at the top of La Liga. 3 goals in 10 minutes towards the end of the first half helped Madrid go top of the table on head-to-head above Atletico Madrid, who play at home to Huesca today. Karim Benzema scored twice and set up another for Alvaro Aldioza to head into the Ramon de Carranza Stadium, where any suggestion Madrid's players might be destabilized after a hugely controversial few days was dismissed. And Madrid President Florentino Perez was the only owner from the European Super League's 12 founding clubs to speak publicly about the competition following its remarkable launch on Sunday night. And despite 10 out of 12 pulling out in the face of anger and opposition from all sides of the game, Real Madrid was still officially part of the breakaway tournament when the players kicked off the Wednesday night. And in another sports story, Saudi Arabia to host Joshua and Fury fight. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury will take place in Saudi Arabia, Bob Arum has confirmed. And talks over the heavyweights unification bout has taken place throughout the year, with the final hurdle thought to have been overcome when Eddie Hearn revealed last week that the fighters have agreed to a side deal. And a number of offers were put forward to the fighters, including Qatar, Uzbekistan, Russia, the United States, and the UK. Arum's Fury's co-promoter has now confirmed the fight will be held in Saudi Arabia, which hosted Joshua's rematch victory over Anthony Rios Jr. in 2019. And Arum says that the city of Jeddah is likely to host the Battle of Britain, with 3 dates still being considered: July 24th, July 31st, or August 7th. And Joshua has exclusively fought with Sky from the entire professional career, with Fury's fight taking place on BT Sports since his return to the ring in 2018. And that's the size of the news for us today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. IGP withdraws senior police officers attached to the EFCC. Egypt releases 1,686 prisoners as Ramadan kicks off. And thousands across Russia defy ban on protest. World Trade Organization moves against harmful support for fishing. And on sports, Benzema scores twice as Real Madrid trash Cadiz. And today on our photo of the day, you can see that picture on your screen, and it shows somebody moving on a lonely part and other people taking the other part. And this is to say that it's okay to be different. Don't be afraid to stand out of the generality. It makes you outstanding. You can also share with us your thoughts on the photo of the day today on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, it is My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it's at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it is Celebration TV. And never forget that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work for defines your leadership might. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has backed his ways to success. And be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either have a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So be a part of nation building today. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter, and have a nice day.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun,